things, right? But I am your vision coach, LaToya Early. I am an empowerment speaker and trainer. I help coaches and service-based entrepreneurs identify blind spots, discover your niche, and create multiple streams of income through business development and lifestyle transformation. Listen, I am called to the coach. I am called to the service-based entrepreneur. It is my responsibility to help you identify the exact problem you are called to solve in your business so that in return you can reach the people that you are to reach and you can make the income that you desire to make. How many of us have increased our prices or our services for the new year, right? Because we have some revenue goals that we want to reach. We have some things that we want to do. We have so many entrepreneurs who are looking to exit their 9-to-5, or we just have entrepreneurs who want to work dual and have a lucrative income through their business and have a lucrative income through their 9-to-5. Listen, you can do them both. And you can also live as a full-time entrepreneur. You just have to trust what you've got and go with what you know, right? So today I want to share with you guys what makes you an expert. And so as I'm sharing my 3 tips on what makes you an expert, I want you to make sure that you are commenting, okay? Comment, because I want to know what makes you an expert, and I want to know what you think. If you think that what I'm saying is connecting with you and your brand and where you're going and what you're doing in business, make sure you comment. Cool. So again, I am your vision coach, LaToya Early. We're gonna rock out for a couple minutes. I'm gonna try my hardest not to be before you long, because I know that some of you just may be catching me while you are taking your lunch break. So I want to share these 3 tips with you. So before I jump into the tips that I want to share, of course, you guys know I'm looking at my notes. So if I'm looking down, don't think I'm being distracted. I am checking out my notes so I can make sure I share everything that I have for you within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Cool? Deal? Now do me a favor. If I start talking good, I want you to start giving me some hearts, right? Because I don't know if y'all know, one thing that I absolutely positively love are hearts, okay? Hearts, whatever. Hearts and trees are the 2 things that I absolutely love. I love hearts and I love trees, right? I know. I'll have to tell you guys why later. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into what makes you an expert. So let's first define what an expert is. So an expert is a person who has comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of a skill in a particular area. Okay, an expert is a person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of a skill in a particular area, knowledge of or skill in a particular area. Okay, so it's a person who understands their message. Okay, because we're talking about coaches and service-based entrepreneurs. So I want to bring it to our terms. I want to bring it to our type of language. So what makes you an expert? It's a person who understands their message. So if you are crystal clear on the message that you are to deliver to the people, if you are crystal clear on the exact problem that you're called to solve, if you notice, I always do an exercise with you guys with identifying the exact problem that you're called to solve using one word, right? That's how precise it's required of you to know the exact problem you're called to solve in your business, whether or not you're a coach or whether or not you're a service-based entrepreneur. You need to know there's a root, because whatever the problem, excuse me, whatever the solution is that you're offering to a problem, there's a root to that problem. And if as the professional or as the expert, if you're not willing to dig and get to the root and pull that problem up by the root, then what's going to happen? It's going to grow again, right? It's just like weeds. We are professional. I'm a professional coach. You're professional coaches and service-based entrepreneurs. You want to make sure that when you are offering the solution to your client, that you are getting to the root of the problem. Because if not, what's going to happen is that problem that they once had is going to come back. Right? Because you didn't pull it from the root. And so here's the way that this is why this is important, and we have to change the way we're looking at this. Because if you're looking at this like, no, I don't want to pull it from the root, because if they have this problem again, they can just come back to me, right? or no. That's a terrible way of thinking. You want to pull it from the root because you want to be the one to help them not only change whatever they needed to change in their business, but you're helping them change their life. That's a lifetime client. Okay, that's a lifetime client. When you're able to pull something from the root and they can not just see the change in their business, but see the change in their lifestyle, that's a lifetime client. And it's a lifetime marketer. It's a billboard, right? So they're walking around saying, rah, rah, I went to such and such. I went to Vision Coach LaToya and she helped me get my life together. And not only is my business good, but my life is good. And so I want to share her with you. I want to share her with you. I want to share her with you, right? So this is why, again, we're talking about being an expert in your industry and what makes you an expert, right? And so we talked about what an expert is. It's a person who understands their message. Again, we're bringing it to our language. It's a person who understands their message. It's a person who can address the problem with sound mind, confidence, and understanding. Okay? An expert is a person who knows how to address the specific problem that they're called to solve. Now here's where things get a little twisty. Sometimes people say, well, okay, especially as a coach, I can solve any problem, right? And I mean, as a woman, I can solve any problem, right? However, I've only been called to a specific problem, right? And so it is my responsibility to make sure that as an expert in the coaching industry, as an expert, as a vision coach, that I learn daily how to address the specific problem with sound mind. What does that mean? With a good mindset, with a healthy mindset, with a godly mindset, with confidence, because I got to come to you bold, letting you know I have the solution to your problem. I know how to help you get to where you need to get to. I know how to help you through the process. And then understanding. I need to know that I need you to know that I understand the problem that you have and the solutions I have to offer you, right? Okay. So again, we're talking about what does an expert look like? Right? It's a person who has identified the problem that they are called to solve and know how to easily apply it to the lives of other people. One thing that I had to learn throughout the years that I've been a coach, man, is about simplicity. I was the coach who had all of these great ideas. Listen, I knew in here of who I was and the problem that I was supposed to solve. But the problem was I couldn't get it out to the people, and it was hard for me to connect the message and the solution to the people properly, effectively, and efficiently. Right? And so while even in that season of my business, I was a developing expert, it took time and it took practice and it took research and it took studying and it took investing in other coaches and it took all of these things so that I can get to a place, I can finally get to a place where I'm like, I get it. Okay, this is how you do it. This is how you make it happen, right? So again, as an expert in your industry, you have the ability to identify the problem and then not only identify the problem in your consumer's life, in your client's life, but you know how to easily provide solutions that they can start applying it to their lives now. And so how does this work as a service-based entrepreneur? Listen, I don't care if you're a nail tech, if you're an event coordinator, if you're a hairstylist, these are service-based entrepreneurs. Understand that you also have an exact problem that you're called to solve in your client's life. And I need you to identify it because you are the solution to their problem. And I want you to know that although, again, these are the type of services that they are recurring. These are recurring services. You have to know the problem that you're called to solve because the way that you implement your solutions is session by session, place by place, appointment by appointment, right? And so this is why it's super intentional. You have to be super intentional when you are developing these platforms because if you're working with people and you're offering them a service, you want to make sure that you're not just offering them a service, you're offering them an experience, right? Okay, again, so we're talking about what makes you an expert, right? So the question is now, if you consider yourself an expert, do you feel like, is this a place where you've arrived? Like, oh, I'm an expert. I've arrived. I'm there. I don't need anything else. Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. Here's another identifier to recognize or acknowledge whether or not you're an expert. It's a person who uses wisdom in decision making with their clients and in their personal lives and business. It's a person who uses wisdom. So if I'm in a place where I feel like I've arrived and I have all of the information, I have all the answers, and I know everything, am I using wisdom? Absolutely not. Therefore, I am not an expert anymore. An expert is always a student. Okay, an expert is always a student, but an expert is also a phenomenal, fantastic, confident teacher, right? So there's a dual way to this whole living as an expert and being an expert in your business. And so again, I wanted to share with you 3 tips on how to identify whether or not you are an expert. Again, we just share the characteristics of an expert. And so while many of you may be able to watch this and say, you know what, I identify with that. You know what, I don't know, that doesn't sound like something I do. Or you know what, maybe I need to start implementing that in my business. Understand that if you're going to position yourself as an expert, not only do you need to be confident, but you also need to be confident in the solutions that you're delivering, and you also need to be confident in the prices that you place as the expert in your industry, right? So again, the question was, as an expert, does a person arrive? Do they get to a place where they don't need any additional assistance? Absolutely not. If I said, but a person who considers themselves an expert won't stop learning. Okay, they won't stop learning, they won't stop growing, and they won't stop seeking instruction and understanding. This is the place of an expert. This is a place of a confident expert who understands who they are, where they're going, the problem that they solve, how they're going to solve this problem, and how many different ways they're going to solve the problem. Right? And so as your vision coach, it's my responsibility to help make sure that you've identified the exact problem. And so when most people say, well, what's the exact problem that you saw, the exact problem that you solve, LaToya? The exact problem that I'm called to solve is validation. Okay, why validation? It's because I'm a vision coach, and it is my responsibility to help you see bigger, to help you see greater, and to help you walk by faith, right? And most times when you are an entrepreneur, when you are a coach, you have this little piece of uniqueness about you, and you really want to put this out to the world, and you really want to grow, and you really want to charge what you want to charge in this industry, but you're afraid. You like, well, who's going to want this? Who's going to want to buy this? Who's going to, right? And so while this is only the bottom layer of what I do, it's the most important layer, because before I can get you to creating multiple streams of income in your business, before I can help you get into the wealth level in your business, both inner and outer wealth that you desire, I got to get you to a place where you understand that God has made you fearfully and wonderfully made, that just as God used his words to create, so can you, right? So there are some barriers that we got to break down, and I got to get you out of the space of thinking that you need certain people to validate who you are and the gift that you have, and more so know that God gave me this, so I was already validated, right? So again, that little snippet, that's the root. Remember, I told y'all, as an expert, you have to get to the root. So once I can pull that out, then we smooth sailing. Now everything else, with knowing the problem that you solve, whose problems that you solve, how do you solve their problem, and how many different ways we can solve the problem, packaging this message, putting this message out. Now all of this is smooth as butter, because the root of needing to feel validated is now destroyed. Make sense? Does this make sense to y'all? Let me know, because it sounds like it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Cool. Okay, so now let's jump into those 3 tips that I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to share with you guys the 3 tips. Remember, the 3 tips to help you identify whether or not you're an expert in your coaching business or your service-based business. Cool. So there's 3 major areas. There's visibility, there's credibility, and then there's influence. And so again, I know that these are terms that we hear in our industry all the time, right? And so I want to give you a different kind of twist on the way that I see these 3 terms and how they make you the expert in your coaching business, or your service-based business. How does these 3 top elements make you the expert? Number 1, visibility. Are you showing up? Right? Are you showing up? That's the first question. I'm talking about every day, every second, every minute. Now, understand this. Showing up doesn't always have to be that you're exhausting yourself. Showing up just makes the people know that, hey, I'm the one with the answer to your problem, right? Are you showing the world what problem you solve and how you can help them? This is how you show up. You're showing up every day by saying, I have the solution to your problem, whether or not it's online marketing, whether or not it's offline marketing, whether or not you're in the grocery store, whether or not you're volunteering at your kid's school. You want people to know I am the solution, right? I am the solution to this exact problem. When you start to hear people use some of the terms and words and experiences that you know are the reasons of that rooted problem that you're called to solve, your antennas should start going off and you're like, hey, that's me. Show up. Visibility. Can people see you and know, hey, that's the person that does this and that's the person who does it well, right? So the first tip is visibility. Show up. Make sure that people know that you have the solution to their problem, but you got to first know what problem you're called to solve, right? Number 2 is credibility. Are you consistent? What does your consistency look like? Some of you guys are saying, hey, LaToya, I'm this and I'm that. And then you'll show up for a week and then we don't see you for like a month. One thing that you have to understand in this online market is that if you're going to position yourself as an expert, if someone tags your name in something, hey, such and such, I'm looking for, how you can recommend, I'm looking for a baker. If someone tags you, and they go to your page and they have to scroll. Y'all know my thumb scroll. I teach y'all about this. 1, 2, 3. If I scroll 3 times and I don't see a cake, a cookie, a pie, a pastry, I'm off. I'm not getting ready to go digging to find out what type of cakes you buy. I'm not doing it. Right? And so you have to understand that your consistency, you need to make a decision. What is your social media platform for? Is it for you to vent? Are you going to use social media as your therapist, or are you going to use social media to build your results and your revenue in your business? You need to make a decision. Now, I'm not saying not to be a little transparent. I'm not saying not to show the world a little bit of who you are. But what I am saying is that you have to learn how to be the expert in your industry and show up and show the world who you are in the problem that you're called to solve. Okay, good. You ran out the other day and stubbed your toe and had to get rushed to the emergency. Okay, that's transparency. But I don't need to see a whole bunch of reposts of a bunch of random stuff that has nothing to do with your space and your expertise, right? So we're talking about credibility. Are you consistent? Can your clients vouch for your services and commitment to their problem? Can your clients show up and say, my coach or my graphic designer or my web designer or my brand strategist is committed to helping me not just make the aesthetics of my business look beautiful, but change the way I'm viewing this in my life. Listen, the way your website looks, the cleanliness of the website, the cleanliness of the brand, all of these things trickle into the business. It trickles into your life. I don't care what no one say. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for almost 6 years, and I've learned that everything, even though you may not know what my personal life look like, you may not know what my house look like and all of that good stuff, but you can see some of the same flaws that you may see in a person's business. 9 times out of 10, these are some of the similar flaws that's in their life. They're probably just 20 times bigger. Right? And so in order to be a successful professional, you have to be a healthy person. If you want to be a successful professional, you have to be a healthy person. So my last tip was credibility. Are you consistent in showing the world the problem that you solve? Can your clients vouch for you? I'm sorry, this was tip number 2. Can your clients vouch for your services and commitment to their problem? Again, we're talking about pulling the problem from the root. Don't teach people to be surface. Don't teach people to cover up their flaws. Teach them how to remove the flaw. If you are an event coordinator and a person that goes out and make an establishment look absolutely fantastically beautiful, that is not my expertise, right? But what can you teach me? You may not teach me the skill of making the aesthetics of the establishment amazing, but what can you teach me? What is the problem that you can help me solve as your consumer? How about time management? How about organization? How about some of the habits that these people suck with this, the reason why they hired you, right? And so we're talking about these different things is because I want you guys to understand, as a coach and as a service-based entrepreneur, you have to dig deeper into what you're called to. It's more than just exchanging the service for a profit. It's about exchanging the profit and to help profit their life and change the trajectory of how they live. It's a lifestyle shift. Right? When people purchase from you, you should be helping them not just change their environment, change their business, change their circumstances. You should be helping them change their life. Right? And if you're like, LaToya, I don't want to do that, then I'm not talking to you. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I love you though, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the entrepreneur, the service-based entrepreneur, and the coach who understands that what they do is important and it's necessary and that they are the expert in their industry, right? If you're not trying to go that deep, I get it. It's cool. I get it. It's cool. It's work. I get it. It's all right. But if you're the person that's saying, I want my business to be better, I want my business to be bigger, I want to influence the nation, I want to go international, then you're going to have to dig a little deeper. Cool? And then, so this is our last and final tip. Tip number 3 is influence. Influence results. Are you showing results in the lives of your consumer and your community? Right? And your potential clients. And I don't want to really use the term followers, even though I know that's what we use on social media. But when I'm talking about the community, I'm talking about the people who are connected to your message. Are you helping change their lives? Are you only into changing their lives if you're exchanging a profit? Or are you committed to the change? The reason why we're exchanging the profit for the service is because you want to work with me one-on-one so that I can dig deeper and be more particular to your circumstance. The reason why we're exchanging service for profit is because now you understand that, hey, Vision Coach LaToya can really help me change the trajectory of my business and of my life. And I want to work with her beyond the Facebook screen, right? And so while I'm committed to the community, anybody who's on my Facebook, you guys know, if you post, if you comment on my post, if you jump on my video, I'm going to dig into you just like I would do a client. The difference of the matter is the solutions and the strategies that I offer my clients are a little bit personable and a little bit more intimate. So therefore, I can dig a little deeper. We can iron some things out. I can see some blind spots because as business owner, remember, we're the one painting. We're not the ones that can see the gaps. The person that's standing behind you can see the gaps. Hey, make sure you put that red. Have you ever had to paint a wall? I don't like painting, but I've had to paint a wall before, right? And so I'm thinking I'm doing good because I'm this close. I think I'm doing good. And then you step back and you be like, why didn't nobody tell me all these lines? Or how about when you're putting up a picture? I do this all the time. When you're putting up a picture in a house and then you got the pictures and to you it looks straight, right? And then when you step back, that junk be crooked as heck. That's me. I'm your vision coach. I'm the one that's standing behind you saying, move to the left. Move up a little bit. Move that down. No, just take the whole picture down. Let's just start all over again, right? Cool. So that's what I am to you in your life. And I want to make sure that you understand these 3 tips: visibility, credibility, and influence. Are you helping your client or your consumer see results? Let me tell you, let me use this as an example. My nail tech. I've been going to my nail tech since I ain't gonna tell y'all her age because I don't have to tell y'all how old I am. So I've probably been going to my nail tech for about 12 years, right? And there was a time where I stopped going to my nail tech because I had kids and it was just way too much. And then I picked back up and I started going to my same nail tech. I love my nail tech, right? And so the reason why I'm so committed to my nail tech, and she may not really see this herself, but the problem that she's been called to solve in my life is the problem of giving myself the time to be beautiful, giving myself the time to be maintenance on, giving myself the time to care. My nail tech is the bomb when it comes to nails, right? And I really care about my nails and I care about my hands, and it's because of her and the processes and the diligence and her patience and the things that we talk about while we're sitting there. She's the one to be like, no, LaToya, that's not right. Don't do that. You need to change that. And it's like a great space to be in the 40 minutes that I'm there getting my nails done, if that long. right? And so understand that even though you're a service-based entrepreneur, don't think that you don't have an exact problem that you're called to solve in that person's life. We just got to get to it. We got to package it right so that they know it, make it crystal clear, and then put the price tag on it that not only identifies the value of the change, but it also shows that you're serious and you're about your business as an expert. Cool. Last thing. What increases your value of expertise? So you're like, okay, LaToya, you've shown me the characteristics of an expert. Cool. You've given me 3 tips on how to identify myself as an expert. Cool. Now, how do I strengthen my areas of expertise? Because I do think that I'm already an expert. So how do I strengthen them? How do I increase them? How do I expand them? Number 1, I need you to work. Put in the work. Put in the work. And for those of you who are working your 9 to 5 and you have a business, stop calling your business a side hustle. I think I put this on a post before. If you're dating somebody, right, and you are in love and you like, this is my boo and all that good stuff, and then your person be like, oh yeah, that's my side chick. Excuse me? Pardon me? That's how you doing your business. Don't call your business a side chick. You want your business to bring you money. You want your business to bring you revenue. You want your business to change lives, but you treat them like a side chick. You don't gotta. Your business is your business, okay? Not your side hustle. That was totally left. That was just. This is my right. That was left, right? Cool. So what increases your level of expertise? 1, work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, I'm not into the whole grinding. I was watching a coach and she has this book called Grace Over Grind. I'm not talking about grinding. We don't grind as believers. As believers, we know that we've been called to this thing and my steps are already ordered. I don't have to grind. All I have to do is gracefully walk into the path that God has already created for me. So I'm not saying grind, but in order for you to walk in the path, you gotta walk, right? You gotta put in the work. So number 1, work. Number 2, research. Do your research. Do study. Figure out who your client is. Figure out what they like. Figure out what you do. Figure out the problem that you solve. Study the problem that you solve. Study your solutions. Study how you can put your solutions to how many books do you read? I'm always reading. My kids hate riding in the car with me because I don't listen to the radio. We're going to listen to this audio book. And they are so irritated. And I don't care. Do your research. Study, study, study. I need you to study. Stop thinking that you can Google everything. Go find a book. Go find a trainer. Go find a coach. Go find a strategist and study. Do your research. Do your work. And then engagement. Learn how to use your social media. Again, I know that social media, I can connect. I've seen people that I went to elementary school with. We get on, we kicking it, we laugh. But that's not what I use my social media for. I use my social media to engage. I use my social media to connect. I use my social media so that I can reach out to you and say, hey, I have the solution to your problem. Engage with people, both online and offline. As a mom, I'm a full-time mom, a full-time business owner, a full-time wife, and then I'm full-time LaToya when I can, right? All of these different things, my offline engagement may not always be what it need to be. But when I show up, you best to believe I show up, right? So you have to engage. And then lastly, you got to invest. We're talking about being the expert. How are you going to be the expert in your industry? How are you standing out and being the expert as a coach? How are you standing out and being an expert as a service-based entrepreneur? One of the keys to expansion and growth is investment, right? And not even the information that the person is going to give you, because preferably you'll invest in someone who knows what they're talking about. But the seed of investment is only then reciprocated back into your business. So you can't look at, if you're paying a company $500 a month, you can't look at it like, oh man, I don't want to pay that. No, you're like, no, I'm going to invest it. And then when I invest, I'm going to figure out how this is going to bring me back my investment. or 5,000 or 500,000, whatever it is that you're investing, whatever number it is that you're investing, understand that you have to change the way you're looking at the investment. The investment is to help you procreate. The investment is to help you to create multiple streams of income. So let's not look at it as a hindrance, but let's look at it as an opportunity to grow, right? Because you are the expert. Cool. So listen, thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. I tried to go through those tips and those strategies as quickly as I possibly could, making sure that I gave you the information that I know that will really help you move forward in your coaching business and in your service-based business. I have some strategy sessions that I want to provide to you for the end of this month, because we'll be going into 2020. I got some strategy sessions that I want to book up. So listen, I want you to meet me virtually so that we can sit down and create a detailed plan for your 2020. If you're interested in scheduling a strategy session with me, inbox me. I'm going to put the link in the comments, but I want you to inbox me. Listen, if you missed this, catch the replay. #replay. This was a good one, y'all. This one was a good one. I thank God that he was depositing these things into me this morning. So make sure you #replay. If you want to schedule a strategy session, do me a favor and inbox me so I can shoot you the link. I no longer offer one-time strategy sessions anymore. I just don't. So in order for us to work together one time, and we can definitely move forward and build and do more together. But if you're looking for that, I only need her for an hour. I only have these couple of questions. I only want to sit and do this. Then this is the opportunity for you, because unfortunately you can no longer go on my site and just book a 1-hour session. You have to book, a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month program with me. So that's a small incentive. If you're looking to go into the new year with clarity, if you're ready to remove the fog, if you're looking for someone to help you identify the blind spots, let's go ahead and schedule your strategy session. Cool. Your strategy is going to be about 90 minutes. We're going to rock out. We're going to walk through a couple different things. I want to go through a 2019 audit with you, just so that I can see what areas in your business we need to make sure we put in the proper place for the new year, and then let's go ahead and make it happen. Listen, lastly, if you are a coach and you listen, LaToya, I need the accountability, I need the partnership, I need someone that's going to help me with my messaging, help me really hone in on my niche, and you're looking for a Christian community, a Christian coaching community, I want you to inbox me, right? Because enrollment is open and we got this cool little deal right now. We just launched the Coach My Life Volume 2. If y'all did not check it out, make sure you go through my timeline, visit Chase Great something. Get the book. Check it out. This is a combination of the Chase Great coaches. If you're listen, LaToya, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to change lives in my coaching business. Connect with me, because I got a special offer for those who want to join the community so that you can secure your spot in Volume 3. Listen, we're not stopping. This is only the beginning. So if you're ready to be a part of our anthology, if you're ready to be a part of the coaching community, those are 2 different opportunities I got for you. My service-based entrepreneurs, you're listen, I need you in my life. Check me out for a strategy session. For my coaches, you listen, I need you in my life. Then let's go ahead and connect with me so I can get you into the coaching community. Listen, I'm done. We're good. I love you. Have a fantastic day and be blessed.